This is a story that began about 10 years ago.
The grand opening is a historical event for Oregon State because this has been a process 10 years in the making.
Students were in the Memorial Union, they were in SNEL, they were all across campus, and really students recognized we needed to come together and collaborate.
So students really began the conversation about, so where do we really need to look 10 years down the road? And what we looked at was the condition of our facilities.
SNEL Hall is actually a dormitory that was remodeled for offices.
We did 2 earthquake analysis studies of SNEL Hall. The answers we came back with on SNEL Hall were it failed both of its earthquake studies.
We were told when I worked in SNEL Hall that if there was ever an earthquake to just run and not to try to take cover or anything like that, just get as far away from the building as possible.
And the engineers said it would cost more to repair it than it would be to build a new site.
So they looked at that and decided how great would it be if students could come together in one place to create, a brand new student experience for all at Oregon State. Hence the name of the Student Experience Center.
We did hit a couple of delays. One is we hit a legislative delay for a year when the legislature decided to not approve any construction in the state. And so we literally could not talk to the architect, could not pick up the phone, could not call a single meeting for 1 year. The very first survey work that we did was actually in conjunction with Dixon Recreation Center. In reading over 600 comments that came in with the surveys, by and large students were telling us that they wanted the project, they just wanted it to cost less.
The ASOSU and ME president had to work together to sponsor a referendum. And what a referendum is, it's a petition that we give to students that says, this is something that's really important to us. If you sign off on this, you're saying that it's important to you as well, and we'll put it on the ballot for this year's election.
We introduced the referendum at $48 a student, and it passed with a 70% approval rating.
That is the highest voting record in Oregon State history, by far.
When you have such a great initiative like the building, and something so great that all students can really coalesce around and support, that's naturally going to turn out students.
So we got the referendum passed, and then it was time to go to the state legislator and request capital bonds.
That is kind of the way that ASOSU got involved, is the advocacy component of the state legislature, because the building is funded partially by student fees, and the bonding from the state for that.
Our ASOC president and ME president worked really hard to testify in front of committees and lobby legislators and write letters to their representatives to express the importance of the SEC.
Best story I can tell is about the student body president at the time, Tonga, who got the question, you essentially are funding and voting to fund a building that you will never work in and not get to experience as a student. And she responded, that's the point, and that's why the ethos of this building are so great, is really this idea of students coming together, collaborating, and thinking about what the future looks like, not for us, but for the future students who are going to be here on campus.
So Oregon State was the lucky one that year, and we received all of the funds that we requested going into that session. And so that really kicked into gear the construction process for the SEC to start becoming a reality.
This is a place for students who, once they are engaged, they retreat to do their work, to perform their jobs.
I've been in the building for a couple of months now. Students are trickling in, students are working there, students are living there in the space.
This building needed a completely unique and different purpose in order for it to be standing beside the MU as a companion to it and not duplicating it.
And so that's where the idea of the Student Experience Center really came to fruition, is this desire to work with our peers in student leadership.
Each iteration of student leaders comes forward to really flourish for about 6 months. The rest of the time is spent gearing up and getting into their role and winding down. So we knew that with student leaders taking the key roles that we would have to go slower than normal because each had to hand it off to the next group. It invites curiosity, it invites collaboration, it invites creativity, We've given students some of the best space and some of the best technology tools that we know how to furnish them. And really the rest is up to the students. The program will begin to unfold from here in new ways because we've created new environments, and environments shape behavior. I think in the end what we found is that the institution deeply values what students contribute. After all, the institution gave us this great location next to the MU, right in the center of campus, and I think it speaks volumes about what the institution's priority is. And the institution's priority right now is the student experience.
On behalf of students, we are very appreciative of all of the 10 years of work and energy from people long before our time that they put into this building. It truly wouldn't be possible without them.
We're really excited that everyone could be here to celebrate this historic event for us at Oregon State, and we look forward to the years to come.